Listen up, Birds fans, because what we're witnessing right now with Jalen Hurts is nothing short of extraordinary. And if you're not paying attention, you're missing one of the most special stretches of quarterback play in Philadelphia Eagles history. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this man is absolutely rewriting the record books while silencing every single doubter who dared question whether he could lead this team to glory. The numbers don't lie and the tape doesn't lie. And right now, Jalen Hurts is playing like an absolute warrior out there on that field, proving once again why this franchise made the right decision to build around him as their franchise quarterback. Let's talk about what just went down against the Giants, because this wasn't just another divisional win. This was a statement game that showed the entire league that this Eagles offense is hitting another gear at exactly the right time in the season. 38 points dropped on a division rival without A.J. Brown in the lineup, and people thought the passing game would struggle without our WR1. But Hurts went out there and threw 4 touchdown passes, like it was nothing, showing the kind of adaptability and leadership that defines truly elite quarterbacks in this league. The ground game was eating all day long, sure. But we cannot sleep on what Jalen did through the air, because he was surgical, he was precise, and he was making throws that had people questioning his arm talent earlier this season look absolutely foolish. Here's where it gets absolutely insane, and why every Eagles fan needs to understand the historic nature of what we're watching unfold before our very eyes. Jalen Hurts just became the first quarterback in NFL history, and I mean the entire history of professional football, to record at least 15 touchdown passes, 5 rushing touchdowns, and 1 or fewer interceptions through his team's first 8 games of a season. Let that sink in for a moment, because we're talking about a statistical feat that has never been accomplished in the modern era of football. With all the great quarterbacks who have played this game, from Montana to Brady to Manning to Mahomes, none of them put together this combination of touchdown production and ball security through 8 games. That's not just impressive. That's legendary status, and it's happening right here in Philadelphia with our quarterback wearing midnight green. The transformation we've seen from Hurts this season, especially over the last 4 weeks, has been absolutely breathtaking. And if you've been watching these games, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Early in the season, there were whispers and criticisms about the passing attack, about whether Hurts could elevate his game to that next level, about whether this offense could be more than just a ground and pound operation. But Jalen has answered every single question with authority. Over the last 4 games, he's thrown for over 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns against just 1 interception, and he's averaging 267 passing yards per game, which is a massive jump from where he was at this point last season. Something has clicked, something has unlocked, and we're now seeing the full potential of what this offense can be when Hurts is slinging it with confidence and precision. Let's break down the full body of work through 8 games, because these numbers are absolutely elite by any standard. Hurts has accumulated 1,677 passing yards, 15 touchdown passes, that 1 lonely interception, 207 rushing yards on the ground, and 5 rushing touchdowns, which means he's accounting for 20 total touchdowns through 8 games while protecting the football at an incredibly high level. His passing yards per game have increased from 193.5 last year to 209.6 this season, which shows tangible growth and improvement in an area where critics said he couldn't develop. This isn't just good quarterback play. This is MVP caliber production, and anyone who says otherwise simply isn't watching the tape or looking at the numbers objectively. What makes Hurts so special, and what separates him from other quarterbacks in this league, is his dual threat capability, combined with his football intelligence and his ability to protect the football. He recently became just the 3rd Eagles quarterback in franchise history to post a perfect passer rating in a game, joining some legendary names in Eagles lore. And that's not easy to do. That requires precision timing chemistry with receivers and flawless execution on every single throw. On top of that, he's now the first quarterback in NFL history to log 60 or more rushing touchdowns in his first 6 seasons, which is absolutely mind-blowing when you consider the longevity and consistency that requires. This man is doing things with his legs that no quarterback has ever done, while simultaneously elevating his game through the air to elite levels. The haters and doubters have been relentless with Hurts throughout his career, questioning his accuracy, questioning his ability to win from the pocket, questioning whether he's truly a franchise quarterback. but he just keeps shutting them up game after game, week after week. There's something about his mentality, his competitive fire, that refuses to let outside noise affect his performance. And that's the mark of a true leader. When people said the offense would struggle without A.J. Brown, he went out and threw 4 touchdowns. When people said he couldn't pass the ball efficiently, he's now completing passes at a high rate and averaging over 200 yards per game through the air. When people said he was turnover prone, he's got 1 interception through 8 games, which is borderline ridiculous for a quarterback playing aggressive attacking football. The timing of this offensive explosion couldn't be better, because we've got a bye week coming up in Week 9, which gives this team a chance to get healthy, get A.J. Brown back in the fold, and prepare for a massive matchup against the Packers in Week 10. Last season, we saw the offense start slow, and then catch fire down the stretch, and we're seeing that exact same pattern play out again this year, but this time, Hurts is playing at an even higher level than he was during that run. The rhythm is there. The confidence is there. The chemistry with receivers is building every single week. And this offense is becoming the kind of unit that can attack you in multiple ways and exploit whatever weakness you show on defense. What's most exciting for Eagles fans right now is that we're not even seeing the final form of this offense yet, because we're still missing pieces, we're still integrating guys into the system, and we're still figuring out the best ways to attack different defensive schemes. Once everyone is healthy, once the timing is perfect, once every cylinder is firing on this offense, it's going to be absolutely terrifying for opposing defenses to try to slow down. You've got a quarterback who can beat you with his arm or his legs, a running back room. That's punishing defenses, an offensive line that's creating massive holes, and receivers who are starting to get separation and make plays downfield. All the pieces are there, all the talent is there, and Hurts is the maestro conducting this symphony of offensive destruction. The narrative around Hurts has been so frustrating for those of us who have watched him develop and grow as a player, because the criticisms have often felt unfair or premature. Yes, there were growing pains. Yes, there were games where the passing attack looked out of sync, but great quarterbacks figure it out. Great quarterbacks make adjustments. Great quarterbacks elevate their game when it matters most. And that's exactly what we're seeing from Jalen right now. He's not just meeting expectations, he's exceeding them. He's not just playing well, he's playing at a historic level. And he's doing it while carrying himself with the kind of class and leadership that makes everyone around him better. The way Hurts has handled adversity throughout his career, from being benched at Alabama to being a second-round pick to dealing with criticism in Philadelphia, has shaped him into the quarterback we see today. He doesn't get rattled, he doesn't panic, he doesn't let negative energy affect his preparation or his performance. And that mental toughness is showing up in these numbers and in these performances week after week. When the pressure is highest, when the stakes are greatest, Hurts seems to play his best football, and that's the kind of quarterback you can win championships with. That's the kind of quarterback you can build a dynasty around. Looking at the bigger picture, this Eagles team is sitting pretty right now, with a record that has them in excellent position for playoff contention, and potentially even fighting for home field advantage throughout the playoffs. The defense is playing lights out, the special teams are solid, and now the offense is starting to hit its stride at exactly the right time, which is a recipe for a deep playoff run. We've seen this script before. We've seen what happens when this team gets hot at the right time. And with Hurts playing the way he's playing right now, there's no ceiling on what this team can accomplish this season. The chemistry between Hurts and his receivers is growing every single week, and you can see it in the way they're connecting on routes, in the way they're finding each other in tight windows, in the way they're creating explosive plays down the field. Devonta Smith has been a consistent weapon. Jahan Dotson is emerging as a reliable target. Dallas Goedert is doing his thing in the middle of the field. And once A.J. Brown returns healthy, this passing attack is going to have every weapon it needs to attack any defense in the league. Add in the running game with the way the offensive line is dominating at the point of attack, and you've got an offense that can impose its will in multiple ways. The rushing touchdowns that Hurts continues to rack up are such a valuable weapon because they keep defenses honest, they create short yardage nightmares for opposing coordinators, and they're points on the board that don't require perfect pass protection or perfect coverage recognition. When you've got a quarterback who can run it in from the 5-yard line or the goal line, situation becomes almost automatic, And that's such a luxury for an offensive coordinator to have in the game plan. Those 5 rushing touchdowns through 8 games might not seem like a huge number, but they represent crucial points in crucial moments, and they're part of what makes this offense so difficult to defend. We're watching something special unfold right now in Philadelphia, and every Eagles fan needs to appreciate the moment, needs to understand the historical significance of what Hurts is doing, and needs to recognize that we've got a franchise quarterback who is entering his prime and playing the best football of his career. The sky is the limit for this team. The sky is the limit for this offense. And the sky is the limit for Jalen Hurts, who is proving every single week that he belongs in the conversation with the elite quarterbacks in this league. Don't take this for granted. Don't let the noise distract you from what matters. And don't forget to appreciate greatness when you're watching it happen in real time, because moments like these don't come around often. And when they do, you've got to soak them in and enjoy every single second. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss any of the latest Eagles news and analysis, because we're going to be breaking down every game, every performance, and every historic moment as this season continues to unfold. Hit that like button if you're hyped about what Jalen Hurts is doing right now, and drop a comment below answering this question. Do you think Jalen Hurts is playing at an MVP level right now? Option A, absolutely he's a top MVP candidate, or option B, he's playing great but not quite MVP level yet. Let me know what you think, Birds fans, because I want to hear from you and I want to know if you're as excited as I am about where this team is heading. Go Birds!